listening to the Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and good evening, and welcome to the Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Tyler, as you can see by this little bubble person that is supposed to be who I am. It is very hot in my basement currently where I record, and I just look like a hot mess. So I thought, you know what? Let's look at this little cute little thing that Rachel made for me, and then I'm joined, of course, by Mr. Cross, my lovely co-host. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Cross?
I'm doing pretty good, Tyler. Just so everyone knows, if I sound a little strained, it's because I was at
We've been a little busy.
The Red Sox Yankees games on both Saturday and Sunday night. Tyler and I attended, so we're very fortunate to have been doing that. A lot of fun. We'll talk more about baseball, obviously, on our Baseball with the Bar show, which we'll pick a day for sometime this week. But if I sound strained, that is why I just...
Yeah, you sound a little hoarse there, buddy.
Tyler knows I do a lot of yelling at games.
No. No, you never yell.
Yeah,
no, man. And we had two pretty incredible games that we got to attend this weekend. Both were close right up to the end. The second one more so than the first one. But they were both very fun games. Noah and I are glad to be back into my Twitch community, who I have missed very much. We are back on Twitch. It's been like a week. And a week plus since I've been able to post anything on Twitch. So apologize for the being gone for so long. Noah and I have been a little tired, so we are trying to catch up and get back on track, especially with the summer coming around. We do want to remind everyone that we do stream live on Facebook usually, but not for the Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast currently. But we are streaming also on YouTube on the Bard and Cross Entertainment YouTube channel and on my personal Twitch channel, which is TBard 5195 or twitch.tv/TBard5195. You can find us there if you want to join the conversation live. Otherwise, you can find us wherever you find your favorite podcast for the after show. Let us also remind you that we are not a market substitute for Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment. You want to go watch Dynamite live every Wednesday. This coming week, it was Friday, or the past week it was Friday, and this coming week it will also be Friday. So make sure you go watch that live at 8 or 10. They keep moving it. So it's kind of all over the place. So do some research. Go watch TNT and make sure you join us in watching some Cross'em wrestling, or some all elite wrestling, I should say, over on Dynamite. I mean, what's more Cross'em than the most recent signings that have come over into AEW? We now have Mr. Andrade himself with his coach Vicky Guerrero, and we have the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, who said to Shivani, "I still got more in the tank." Noah, what do you think about those two signings before we get going?
It's pretty exciting. I mean, Mark Henry's cool. We'll see. We'll see exactly what he does, but right now I think he's going to be a lot more in the position of what Big Show's doing. Sure. So it's not going to be a ton of, wrestling or whatever else. So probably might have something, and I imagine Big Show will have a little bit as well. Andrade is coming in as a force to be reckoned with, and I'm excited to see what he does. As I talked to Tyler, I talked to you about this about a week ago, is that Andrade and Kenny Omega are actually scheduled to fight in August at the wrestling promotion AAA.
Right.
So they'll be fighting live from Mexico. Not sure yet if we'll be able to watch that match. I'd like to, but we'll see what the rights are for them showing it here. I don't know yet. As of right now, there's
probably be very expensive.
As of right now, there's no way for us to watch it. Period. Like I said, so we'll see what happens come August.
And this is where we tell you we are sponsored by ExpressVPN. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, but I think we're pretty excited, though, right? Pretty excited to see where this goes.
I'm excited. And
it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I just want to say, I do think Andrade will be the person to ultimately beat Omega for the AEW Championship.
That would be awesome. That would be really, really good. I think they kind of blew it about his entrance, the way they went about introducing him. I think it would have been better if he was number 21 rather than Lio Rush. Not that I am doing anything to tarnish Lio Rush's entrance or his time in the Battle Royal, but it was, I think, better suited for a megastar like Andrade. And maybe one day Charlotte Flair will make her way over to AEW. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, her father did the Ultimate Betrayal going to TNA back in the day. So we will see. But Noah, we had a pretty incredible pay-per-view this last weekend, or a weekend ago. It wasn't even this last weekend. But wow, holy cow, they put on quite the spectacle for us. And we have a new champion in the predictions bracket. Dylan actually is our new predictions champion. So congratulations, Dylan. You dethroned Kyle. It wasn't even a tie. You just beat everyone. It was actually down to Dylan and Noah, and Dylan took the win at the very end. So it was a very, very valiant effort on your part, Mr. Cross, but we have some matches to get to. We will cover that the next time we have the boys on the show. But first up, we had the Buyin pre-show. We had Serena Deeb going up against Rio. Let me just pull that banner down. We don't need that anymore. Everyone knows what they're watching. Serena Deeb versus Rio for the NWA Women's World Championship. Can I just say they started this off with a bang, Noah? Usually the buy-in, everyone's like, well, yeah, whatever. It's the B card, the C card. Who cares? These two women went out and had a banger of a match, and this is where I ultimately screwed up, because if I had picked Serena Deeb here, I would have been the champion. But Serena Deeb, as you can now assume by my saying, did pull out a crazy win. Just the power of Serena Deeb was just too much for the quick acting of Rio. I really, really thought Rio was going to win here. Were you surprised or not so surprised that Serena Deeb pulled this off?
No, I can't say I was surprised at all, to be honest. I mean, I chose Deeb to be the winner in the bracket, and I just didn't think they were going to have the NWA Championship change hands this night, because I knew Britt Baker was going to beat Shida. So I didn't think they would do two, and I didn't think they would have NWA's championship change on AEW TV. So
yeah, that's fair, because I went like nuts in this bracket pick. Like, I did not equate any of my picks to each other. I just picked whoever I thought, and I guess if I had thought that way, I probably would have been on the same page as you. But I think overall, this again for a buy-in, holy cow, these two really put it all out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great match. It was a great way to open the show and to get the crowd back into what's going on, because that was the first fully live audience for a pay-per-view that we've had in a long time.
Yeah, that's true. It was a max capacity. They had a full house at Daly's Place, and wow, that crowd was insane. And they couldn't wait for this match right here to kick off the show. Actually, into the pay-per-view now, we had Hangman Page versus Brian Cage. I mean, Noah, these two, we all said that this had the chance to be a banger, and these two proved why. They are in the main spotlight every week. Not the main spotlight, that's the title picture, but these two are always on the show, absolutely killing it. Hangman Page and Brian Cage almost felt like they were trying to steal the show with this opening match, and they did incredibly good. The hard hits, the clotheslines, the meeting each other like two freight trains in the center of the ring. I think this was a crazy, crazy good win. Again, this was a loss for me. I did take Brian Cage here, and for a minute there, it looked like he might get the dub, but unfortunately, Team Taz reared their little ugly heads, and Hook and Starks came down to the ring and blew it for Brian Cage. Noah, what did you think about this match?
I thought it was great. It was a great way to, the buy-in was sure the first match, but this was the open to the show, and you want to hit the ground running when you're opening a show, especially opening like a pay-per-view with the first audiences back in a very long time. So it was really nice. It was a great match. I thought both men did a really good job of keeping us on our toes, keeping us on the edge of our seats. As you said, it looked like Cage was going to take the win there.
Dude, late. That F10 on the ramp. Oh my Lord.
They did an avalanche F10, I'm pretty sure, as well.
It was just ridiculous.
From the ropes, and yet Hangman still kicked out, and he hit the big buckshot for the win. And they just traded blows, and I think they did a damn good job. It was a fun match to watch. It was a great opening.
It was just about as much as you could expect out of a battle of the behemoths.
Absolutely.
But both of them are athletes, so it's not like a Big Show versus Mark Henry match. It's two massive, massive men who are incredibly talented and physically fit.
Uncle Anthony described Brian Cage as you create a character in like a wrestling video game. So like it's just a monster of a human being,
but he can still do a shooting star press.
Yeah, like they're doing all these things. It's just like no, it's like like you program your game to make a big show doing it like a
619.
Yeah, like a 619 or a frog splash. It just doesn't make sense.
Oh my god, I think that is a fair evaluation of that. Noah, I don't know about you. I was dumbfounded when this was the next match. Jungle Boy and the rest of these guys would come out for the Battle Royale early on. I was dumbfounded that this was.
I'll be honest. I thought this was going to open the show. To be completely honest, I mean,
really.
Yeah, I feel like your battle royal that's a good curtain jerker because it's exciting. There was suspense with the surprise opponent. Obviously, the winner was very happy. Made everyone very happy. I thought that was a great way to open the show.
Yeah,
so
man.
I feel like if they didn't have Paige and Cage go up against each other, this would have opened. To be honest.
Yeah, and speaking of Cage, we had another Cage in this match going up against Jungle Boy as two of the last people in this. Oh, it was like, oh my Lord, what in the world are we going to do when Christian Cage and Jungle Boy are the last two people in the ring? And they were two people that we all predicted. It was my pick and Dylan's pick going head to head against each other to finish the match. But that wasn't even half of the match, man. I mean, I'm glad it was those two down to the end. But I think I would have been royally pissed if Christian got the dub over Jungle Boy. The reaction that Jungle Boy got when his music hit, just the whole crowd just singing along and going absolutely nuts. And the celebration at the end with Marco Stunt and Luchasaurus and Christian coming out and again and saying like, win this fucking match. You better win this fucking match. Just screaming at him and chopping him in the chest. And who knows? I think it's 2 weeks out now. We're going to get the match of Jungle Boy versus Kenny freaking Omega for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Noah, what were some spots or some guys you were happy to see in this match?
And I was happy to see, obviously, the ending here. I was happy to see Jungle Boy win, even though I didn't pick him. I picked Powerhouse Hobbs. It was nice to see Hobbs in the match as long as he was. He looked really good. His elimination was a little lackluster, but for a guy of his size. But what are you going to do? It was cool to see Christian Cage.
It was fair.
I don't know
because of the storyline.
Yeah, I get the storyline. I just kind of wanted like a bunch of people to have to throw that big guy over.
Yeah, that's
I just
fair.
feel like that would have made more sense.
It was rather lackluster with how unceremoniously he was dumped out. There was like no big spot about it. Like he didn't make a big deal about it. It was just like, oh, damn, I'm out. All right, bye.
Exactly. Like a guy of his size and caliber, it should be a build up to this big elimination that took 3 or 4 people. And
I think Max Caster, someone who you enjoy, I think he had a pretty good spot in this match.
Yeah, I think Max Caster had a great spot. I mean, he was showing some good prowess and doing well. I was gonna say I actually really enjoyed watching Matt Hardy and the and Private Party. Private Party.
Good.
Yeah. I really had fun watching them work together, and the Hardy Foundation, whatever he calls it, with him in Private Party. I thought that was pretty funny. Like I said, I thought they did a good job. They had me laughing. There was a part of me a little bit that thought Matt might win with the help that he was getting,
cool.
But it all fell apart. So
he just kind of feels like the cartoon Joker, and Private Party are his minions.
100%.
Because he's just goofing on everyone. And he had a crazy heel moment on Dynamite this week, going after Cage. So he's definitely a crazy heel, out of his mind. So we'll see where that rivalry. I mean, that's how long has he been a rival with Christian Cage, man. Matt Hardy and Christian Cage go all the way back. I remember a certain TLC match where both of them were in that. Against the Dudleys. It was the Dudleys, the Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian.
Yep.
And damn, so they've been fighting each other for a very long time and will continue to do so. But yes, I think we can all agree. And remember, the rules were nuts. It was a battle royale in which 5 entrants joined at the same time. Each was a suit of the deck. So 5 men would be attached. 5 men start in the beginning, and as each suit joined, there would be a 3-minute interval until the next 5 came in. Then the Joker would come in at the end as their own entrance, and that was none other than who we mentioned at the beginning, Lio Rush. And Noah, do you remember just about maybe 2 months ago, Lio Rush appeared on the Hard Hittin' Wrestling podcast here on the Clovercrest Media Network, saying, "No, I'm not wrestling anytime soon. If anything, I'll hit the indie circuit. I'm focusing on my music right now." You liar! The only way he didn't know is if Cody came up to him and was like, "Hey, bro, I got $5,000. You want to be the Joker?" Like,
it could have been recent. I mean, it could have been as recent as a month ago or a couple weeks ago.
Because he's not signed anywhere. He's a free agent. He's just traveling.
Sure. But maybe he just wanted to have this. Honestly, this one-off
could have been a one-off, right?
If it was a one-off, it would have been good for an indie run. He would do, because that's just more publicity.
I think the only reason I think it was a one-off is because he got eliminated so fast.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing, and that's why I agree with you in saying Andrade should have been the Joker. But the biggest thing is, though, if Andrade was the Joker, he can't lose.
If Andrade was up against Jungle Boy, people would have been pissed because they would want Jungle Boy to win still, even though it's Andrade.
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be a heel, so.
I mean, I guess that's fair. That's crazy heel heat. That would have been nuts heel heat. Could you imagine, like, Jungle Boy eliminates the whole team, like everyone's gone except Jungle Boy, and the Joker hasn't come out yet, and it's, Andrade's music hits, and oh man, that would have been nuts.
And he just cleans him up, no problem.
Yeah. Oh shit, here he comes, and he just absolutely beats the hell out of him. That would have been nuts. But yeah, we are very happy. As you can see, Jungle Boy, my pick, ended up getting the dub. It's the only pick that kept me in the race, because after this, we were pretty similar along the way. But we had the Young Bucks going up against Mr. Moxley and Mr. Kingston. One that we were definitely looking forward to going into the night. One of Kyle's favorites being Eddie Kingston. The highly anticipated tag title was up next. Moxley and Eddie Kingston come in first, and the match kicks off as they ambush Nick and Matt Jackson, as the Bucks are doing their Muscle Man posing entrance. I mean, were you surprised to see it kick off this way, Noah? I think this is exactly what people were expecting to see them fight through the crowd, go through tables, beat the holy hell out of each other.
Yeah, this wasn't like, meaning, and I say this loosely, this wasn't a wrestling match. This was a fight. Like these two teams were going at each other's throats. They wanted to hurt each other. They wanted to beat the crap out of each other, and that's what they did. There was a lot of action from the beginning to the end, and even before the beginning, because like we saw here, they attacked him on the entrance, and they couldn't even actually get the bell to ring, until the action already took place for about 5 minutes. So I guess it was exciting. These guys beat the holy hell out of each other, and it was a good match to watch. I mean, like, they beat the crap out of each other. Obviously, the right people won. I can't front AEW for obviously keeping the championships in the Bucks.
Yeah, the Drip Bucks.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense if Mox and Kingston took the championships right now, at least, and especially for this storyline. But
can I say how many times I was like, oh my god, like, through this match, I thought like 2 or 3 times that it was over, and that somehow Mox and Eddie were going to walk away with these titles, which I'm not opposed to seeing that in the future. Seeing the titles on Eddie and John Moxley, oh my god, that would be awesome. Never mind, I want to see any belt on Eddie Kingston. I think he's continued to prove himself that he is one of the better talents in the business, and even just the videos of him out of character backstage, pumping up the troops and getting everyone ready and on the same page. He's just one of those locker room guys that you love to have around.
For sure, yeah, and I could see these two having championship together at some point in the future, but I don't think it's any recent, and I also don't think they'll ever beat the Young Bucks. I don't think the Bucks will let that happen.
Yeah, no, they'll be beat by someone else of note, or it'll be like a runaway win, like the Varsity Blondes will somehow steal a roll up somehow and end up with the titles.
Maybe the Bucks do something to keep Jungle Boy from getting the best of Omega, and then we can get Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy versus the Young Bucks, and they finally.
And that's how he gets a title. Yeah, that would be very, very nice. I would definitely like to see that. But yeah, Noah, I think this match overall, I would give it like a 3.5. It was nothing too absurd. But no, I am noticing something in the notes. I'm going to save that one for last.
Mm-hmm.
The one we have here.
Yep.
Because I think it did happen. I think it was last.
No, the main event was Kenny.
Was it?
Yep, they went. I think the here. I'll move it. I'll just move it on the script here. We're in a Google Doc here, folks. 2021. So, I think this was just here.
Oh, okay.
Which is right before the Britt Baker women's match, because that was second to last, right? Yeah.
Oh, I thought I could have sworn that was last, but
Was
I could
it?
be wrong because I think they closed it off with the music.
Oh, you know what? You are 1,000% correct. That's right, because they over
going nuts.
They over. I it's cool. I think they do it too much
because it's the marquee match.
Yep.
That's why it was last. But I just gave that away. But everyone, what we're going on to next before we take a short break is the one that I was very excited for in Sting and Darby Allin had their match. I don't know why the picture's not changing though. Can I turn it off? Hello? Is it changing on your screen?
Nope.
No. Hold on. I'll do it from here. Let's see if it works if I do it on this one. Ta-da! So we had Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Holy cow. All I can say is wow. Because he may not be the same guy he was back when, but Sting showed up in this match. Mm-hmm. It was Sting's first proper in-ring match since the Night of Champions against Seth Rollins in 2015. He started off with style, taking off his shirt and diving on top of Scorpio Sky. And he looks insanely good for, how old is he, Noah?
62.
62 years old, everyone. He is 62 and he's still ripping off his shirt and diving off of like a 15-foot stage to land on top of these guys. Like, absolutely bonkers. That is not something that you ever expect out of a guy like Sting. So weird to see something like that come from him, but I was absolutely in love with it. And of course, Sting and Darby Allin would beat Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, but the next night they claimed Sting could have done it by himself. He just dragged Darby to the finish line. Mm-hmm. And what do you think of that statement, Noah?
I disagree 1,000%. Darby was kind of the one that was doing the majority of the work, as we kind of thought this night would go, right? Where Sting would have to he would do a couple big things, and then Darby would get the crap beat out of him and whatever else. But you're just not going to let Sting do that. So I don't know. I disagree. Yeah,
no, it was definitely a team effort. But I enjoyed seeing what Sting could bring to the table, and I don't think it's ultimately going to be the end of what they have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
I agree 100%. I think they're going to stay together, even if it's just Sting as an escort or some type of manager for Darby Allin, or even just his mentor or sensei. I don't know, whatever route you want to take it there. I just think that Sting is going to stick around with Darby for a little while. Might not be in a wrestling capacity, but Darby doesn't need the help. So
yeah, he definitely doesn't, and we've seen it in the past that he doesn't need the help. But I don't know if I'm ready to see Sting step down and out of that role. But we'll see. I mean, what more can we do other than just wait, Noah, mm-hmm. and see what AEW has to offer. Speaking of things that we have to offer, I'm following up on how you like to do your transitions. Clovercrest Media has a lot of things to offer for all of you. Lots of podcasts. See if one piques your interest. We'll be right back.
Attention all basketball fans. CMG Sports presents the Posting Up Podcast, where Lucas Boldick, Sean Scanlon, and King Zay discuss the latest news and topics throughout the NBA. So, if you have a love for basketball, make sure you check out the Posting Up Podcast, live every Tuesday and Saturday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Also available for download on every podcast platform. The Giants are running New York like the Times as Danny is dropping all sorts of dimes. Saquon's thighs are ruining defenses' lives and Leonard Williams making opposing QBs feel him. Receivers think it's scary to line up across James Bradbury, and the Giants have a bright future led by Coach Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Tune in to Drawing About the G-Men every Wednesday at 6, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Looking for a casual baseball podcast to listen to? Well, Baseball with the Bard, presented by Clovercrest Media, has just what you're looking for. Tyler Bard and Noah Cross cover a wide range of happenings in the MLB and then dive into a deep focus on the Red Sox and Yankees. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your weekly dose of Baseball with the Bard.
Clovercrest Media Group presents a CMG podcast, Keys to the City.
Keys to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know.
Crossed up by Kobe, little floated to Shaq, and then Shaq goes like this, and the rest is history. Pay attention. Don't tell me what to do, devil woman. But speaking of those Lakers, hold on. But I didn't make my. I said Denver's gonna win. Yeah, you did. You said that.
There's no other show like that. Clovercrest is doing great things right now.
Streaming everywhere.
Great company we have here at Clovercrest Media. You saw a bunch of different sports podcasts this time around. You can tune in to see the Keys or Jace or Nick or any of the guys you're going to find on these shows. We got a ton of guys with a ton of knowledge to go around. You do not want to miss out on those shows. And we have more action coming your way right now. If I can get onto the right one, there it is. It is Miro taking on Mr. Lance Archer. I think we all agreed on this one. This is a pretty simple one to talk about. And Noah headlined it very well, saying Miro makes Lance Archer pass out. Miro retained his TNT championship after a big man bout against Lance Archer. It started with a bang, with Archer hitting a super impressive moonsault on Miro, and it ended with Miro making him pass out to the game over choke. Noah, were you impressed by Miro's dominance in this match?
Sure. I mean, I thought Miro was going to win. I didn't think it was going to be that dominant of a match, to be honest. So that's good that it was. It shows that they have a lot that they want to invest in Miro and put into Miro. It's good to see him doing less of the stupid best man gimmick and the gamer gimmick. He's just,
back to a monster.
I don't know if I like calling it the game over choke. It's kind of stupid and cheesy.
He'll change it back when Lana is joining him at ringside.
Maybe. So yeah, we'll see. But overall, I like this match. Obviously, Miro was going to win. He just won the freaking thing. So yeah.
I think my favorite spot in the match was when Jake the Snake came out with the snake. And Miro caught him mid-action and just threw the snake back up the ramp. It was incredible. Yeah. And like, PETA's going to be calling.
Yep, that's the first thing that popped into my brain.
But again, it was a dominating performance by Miro, even with the interference by Jake the Snake. That did not matter. Miro absolutely took it to Lance Archer, and it's kind of scary. I don't know who's going to be able to stop him. Maybe one of these two men. We had Cody Rhodes, the American Dream, going up against Anthony Ogogo. Just a pride match. USA versus England in an absolute, as JR would call it, slobberknocker. This is your boy. Would you like to talk on this match, Mr. Cross?
Sure, and you're going to be a little surprised. I think I texted you during this.
Yeah, this was your least favorite match on the night.
It was a little cheesy. By that I mean it was a lot cheesy. So this was Anthony Ogogo's third and longest match yet, a real showcase of what he can and can't do. Ogogo did extremely well for his level of experience, as there was nothing egregious nor any glaring mistakes. After a good but not great bout, including brief interference from QT Marshall, Cody Rhodes pinned Ogogo with the Vertebreaker.
Which was like, I'm sorry, what? The Vertebreaker is allowed now? We're just going to we're going to start doing that on TV again?
To be fair, it's Cody, and Ogogo, he's not really here to stay for a while, so, whatever.
Yeah, just take him out and break his fucking neck. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, Kurt Angle won a gold medal with the broken neck, so.
Oh, my God. Literally, stop it. This match was boring.
Yeah, it was cheesy.
The whole night was incredible, and this was like, go take a piss, go get your chicken tendies, and come back, because this match was really boring. They did nothing with the American Dream. Nothing.
Yeah, no, it was pointless. Because Cody was in the match, it would keep me from getting tenders. I will say, like, if I was at this show, excuse me, if I was at this show, it would be hard to find a match where I would get food. Like,
yeah, definitely. This was a packed match.
There's no chicken tender match.
You know what? I found my chicken tender match.
Oh, okay. You can't even say. Let's finish the analysis of this one first.
What was your favorite part of this match, Noah?
The end. No.
Yeah, honestly, I was just kind of happy that it was over. And it feels hard to say, because this match, I can't really pick out too many moments where I was excited, except for when Cody went for a vertebreaker. Yeah, I was like, oh my God. Like, I remember practicing vertebreakers on a trampoline in our backyard, and us realizing, like, oh my God, there's a reason that they don't do this as trained professionals. Like, I dropped Kyle once by accident, and it really hurt. So it is a very dangerous move, but I don't know. Would you have anything else to say about this one?
No, I just, it's cool to see Cody. It's cool that did the whole American Dream thing, and Go-Go was there, and he looked good. He did look good, for a guy who hasn't wrestled that much. It's cool to see people, I guess, doing what they want to do and working hard, putting the work in, and it shows. It was just a cheesy concept. Just didn't make sense. It's just, why? Who fucking cares? Like, England and America. Oh, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, it was just cheesy. It was just cheesy, and the whole American Dream thing should have been so much bigger than just this little pissing match that these two just had. So.
Right, absolutely. It was unnecessary. He should have saved it for a bigger moment. Man, if we're gonna talk about big moments, one of the bigger ones on the night, I mean, you might as well just take it away again, my friend.
Sorry, excuse me. Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, may I say, DMD, wins the AEW Women's Championship. Oh my gosh. The crowd did make this match. The crowd was very into this match. They cheered. It was good. It started with dueling chants, and half the crowd for Shida and the other half for Baker, who has become one of AEW's biggest stars, to no one's surprise. After a lengthy bout, Baker won with the lockjaw submission hold, despite the crowd being very into this match, probably more than anything else on the show to that point. The action itself wasn't that elite tier, though it was above average. And that's the truth. It was
great because they sold it. Like, they really, the two of them were great in the ring together. And I think we could, again, this is one of those matches where I'm like, it's over. Oh my God, it's not over. It's over. Oh my God, it's not over. Like, I just kept thinking that this match was going to be over a billion times.
Yeah, I thought Shida had that match won more than once.
Yeah.
But the second Britt Baker locked in the lockjaw, though, I knew it was over. Like, that was because they kept building to it, which was nice. It's not like she locked it in 3 times.
Yeah, no, she only got it once.
That's it, and that was it. She locked it in once, and that was the match. And it just makes sense. I think Britt was the very right person to beat Shida. Just simply because she's just been doing it for a while. She's been in AEW for a while. She's proved herself to this point. And there were so many people that lost to Shida along the way. And I just feel like Britt is the biggest name that they have there at this moment. It's cool. I don't know. She's a badass.
It looks like she already has a challenger too. Because on AEW, someone interrupted the party, and it was in the name of Miss Nyla Rose.
Yep.
So Nyla Rose is already stepping up to her former friend and Britt Baker, and so let's see what comes of that, Noah. But first off, let's just give a round of applause to an incredible match that, honestly, I was on the edge of my seat. I actually had my dad watching with me when I was watching this one, and I was losing my mind because I kept thinking that Britt was going to lose, and I would have taken the lead. I would have taken the lead in our prediction point right there. I would have taken it right back. But no. They had to go with the cover girl, Britt Baker, to win this match.
Damn right. DMD.
You know, I'm not too upset about it because it was a really good match, and she is a good wrestler. I just hate her gimmick, you know. That's just how it be. But Noah, I think I was a little shocked when the music hit for this match over the Stadium Stampede. This came first. Kenny Omega would go up against Pac and Orange Cassidy in a triple threat for the AEW World Championship match. My God. You had 3 absolute brawlers in the ring right there. I think personally my favorite moment was when Orange Cassidy tried to steal a pinfall victory from Pac. Pac hit the arrow off the top rope, and Orange Cassidy came flying in and threw him out. That was the closest 2 7/8 count I think I've ever seen in wrestling. And when Kenny kicked out, how many kickouts were there in this match where you're like, it's over?
Tons, dude. Tons.
Where you just another one where I just kept thinking, oh my God, it's over. It's got to be over. But yes, Kenny Omega would ultimately retain his AEW championship in an excellent triple threat. He pinned Orange Cassidy with the crucifix roll up to win. Unfortunate way to do it. It was a roll-up win due to interference. I just hate that they do this to Kenny every time, man. Like, Kenny only wins because of interference every time, and he doesn't need it. So my biggest critique, even though this match was incredible, is to just let Kenny fight. Because he can do it on his own, and I just hate that they make him seem so weak by making people interfere for him.
No, I mean, I think it just goes along with his gimmick, and it's tough for them to find ways for people to dislike Kenny, right? For Kenny to leave a bad taste in their mouth because he's Kenny freaking Omega. He's, I mean, arguably the greatest that's on the planet at the moment, right? Or one of at least the greatest that's on the planet at the moment who's doing what he's doing. So it's hard for them to find ways for people to hate Kenny Omega, and unfortunately, the one that they keep going to is the cheating to win or at least a little interference. And that's just the truth. I mean, I agree with you. Kenny doesn't need it, but it just seems like that's what they go to try and get people to dislike Kenny even a little.
Yeah, definitely. It's. I think you're right there. It's from a business standpoint. He's a heel, and they need to keep him as a heel. But you and I we've seen him. We know what he's capable of, and we would just prefer to see a banger of a match. And this was a banger of a match. I shouldn't say that. It's just, you know me. It could be a 5-star match, but if it ends in a roll-up, it's now a 2-star match.
Yep, exactly.
And that's what happened here. And I wouldn't bring it down to a 2-star. I'd say it's like a 3-star because they took a match that was gorgeous and had beautiful, like the orange punch was hit a few times. How many times did he go for the arrow off the top rope, dude? It was insane.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So they really, really, really beat the hell out of Kenny Omega in this match, and he still walked away with the win. So congratulations, Kenny. Noah, any other final thoughts on this before we go into the main event?
No, man, let's do it.
Let's jump into the main event. We had the Stadium Stampede, baby. The Pinnacle would start off the match in the middle of the Jaguar Stadium, of course. MJF, my jerk-off friend, standing next to his limousine, coaxing the inner circle to come out, when suddenly you hear gun, 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 dun, 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 and he's looking around. He's got no idea where they're coming from, and by far the coolest entrance in wrestling history, the inner circle descends down the mega TV at that park at the Jaguar Stadium, and they zip line their way down to the field. I mean, come on. And it was insane how in sync they were. And they came down and landed at the exact same time. I know it was probably pre-recorded, but dear Lord, it was well shot. I think that was the coolest entrance of all time, Noah.
This is where we're going to disagree. I thought it was kind of cheesy.
Really?
That was kind of, I don't know. It's just like, oh, great. They're like, coming down here on these ropes. Like, are we going to beat the fuck out of each other? Or are we trying to pop in circumstance this and whatever else? So I don't know.
Did you just ask if it's going to be pop-up circumstance in a match that involves Chris Jericho? Of fucking course it is, Noah. It's Chris Jericho.
Yeah, but are we trying to kick the shit out of each other? Or
did you watch the match?
And don't get me wrong, they did that. I just look back at I compare it to a Triple H entrance. Like if you remember WrestleMania 29 when Triple H fought Brock Lesnar in the no holds barred match in New York, right, at MetLife Stadium. Triple H's entrance was simple, and he was quoted as saying, "I'm here to fight Brock Lesnar. I don't need all that this year," because and his entrances are usually big. So I don't know. I just felt like when I saw that and the music hit in the beginning was just kind of like, you know, them in the limo and then they ran from him. I was just like, they just fucking like I wanted the Inner Circle in like a monster truck, and then they were going to just run exactly like that's what I was waiting for.
Listen, we're not 2007 Vince McMahon. You know, we don't need to do that. This was new. This was fresh. This was exciting. And that's why I really enjoyed this. It really set the Inner Circle apart from a lot of other teams. Because I don't think anyone else has really done this. The last time that anyone used a zipline like that was probably Sting. When he would come in from the rafters, or rest his soul, the Blue Blazer used to enter like that all the time. And I can't think of anyone else who's ever done it. And I think it's probably because of the Blue Blazer. People are a little weary because he passed away. For people who don't know who that is, it's Owen Hart. He passed away. You can watch his documentary on the Dark Side of the Ring, talking about his death and his passing and all that. But it was cool to see because it's not something you see in wrestling all that much. You know what? I take it back. It might have been Shawn Michaels who was the most recent one when he came flying down on a zip line. So ultimately, this is just the entrance so far, and you can see it already has us divided. But incredible start to the match. Noah, before I don't even know where to start. There was Hager versus Wardlow in the back, where ultimately Hager put Wardlow through a shelving unit, and he crashed through 3 shelves, like insanity off the top of a forklift. That was crazy. But I think I have to bring up my personal favorite moment. Was when they went into Urban Meyer's office, and Urban Meyer was in there with another coach, and he tossed a football to Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho beat the hell out of MJF with a football. And as they're leaving and going out the back door, Urban Meyer, the new coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, goes, "Holy shit!"
That was a good spot.
Or did you maybe like the DJ part where they were in the nightclub and fighting up to the elevator or the escalator? And I don't know. I just personally think everything with Jericho and MJF was just money. They fought into the crowd. They were busted wide open. I mean, Jericho put him through a table that was 2 feet from a 40-foot drop. It was a very, very, just, you could see the meanness and pain and disdain for each other in this match. So what do you think about it, Noah?
No, I agree. I thought it was great. There was a lot of good moments.
It's the best one yet.
I like how they utilized the stadium to its fullest potential. Like that, they were everywhere.
Literally,
like Sean Spears and Guevara were over in the chair, like where they stored tables and chairs, right? So they got to have this chair segment that was really cool.
Which makes sense, right?
It makes perfect sense, right? The chairman, right, of AEW, as he called it when he tried to murder Cody in his debut. And then you had MJF and Wardlow over in like the meat locker or the walk-in freezer with the fake half pigs hanging from the ceiling, right? So that was funny, and it was gimmicky, but it was fun. It was a different match, which is why I think I liked it. And we're seeing more of the cinematic match play out, so people are starting to enjoy it more and accept it more, which is good. The only thing that I feel was a bit of a cop-out on their part was that the finish didn't come down to MJF and Jericho.
Could you believe that?
It was Guevara pinning Sean Spears, which I feel...
Could you believe that?
Like, no offense to either of them, but I feel like it's just kind of like...
They were the two smallest horses in the fight.
Yeah, it's like, why are they the ones? And I say it's a cop-out because this just sets up where we actually have to have this Jericho and MJF blowout. Right. And it's probably going to be another match here, but I feel like this can only end with one of those two men pinning the other.
Yeah, I mean, it has to end there. It just the last 2 decisions for each of these matches have included Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara gave up in the cage match. Sammy Guevara got the pin in this match. So who knows? I mean, Sammy Guevara is the whole reason that this rivalry is even happening, Noah. So he is the centerpiece of this rivalry, besides MJF and Jericho being, the focal point. Sammy Guevara is right there. I was stunned that Sammy Guevara ended up pinning Shawn Spears. Not only pinning him, he pinned him in the middle of the ring.
Yep.
They went back into Daly's place to finish this match. And then they were joined by a non-sweaty Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager, who looked like they had just taken an ice bath. So they didn't plan that very well. But it was definitely an incredible match, Noah, to end an incredible night. Noah, what would you give this night out of 5 stars?
Out of 5, I'd probably give it a 4. A solid 4. I think
I give it a 4+. 4+, like a 4, maybe like a 4.25. Because the only thing that really turned me off was a Go-Go and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Go-Go and Cody Rhodes wasn't a highlight. That wasn't that great. Let's see here. I think the only other thing is I don't know. I don't know how I feel about who won the Stadium Stampede match. I just feel like the Inner Circle is in a spot where each of those dudes could do great things on their own, and them being in the Inner Circle was just kind of delaying that. So I feel like and the win for the Pinnacle would have been big for them.
I don't think they can break up this fight until there's another show.
Yeah, well,
until AEW has another broadcast, there's no way.
That's the only reason they didn't, which to me is like really,
which is coming. Whatever. Yeah, we do have another cable television show on the way. We don't know exactly when, but I think the rumor, correct me if I'm wrong, Noah, is that it will be on Friday nights.
Yes, yeah, that is the rumor that it'll be a Wednesday night show and a Friday night show.
Noah. That is so crazy that they're like, all right, well, we eliminated NXT, incoming SmackDown. So we'll see how they stand up on Friday nights. I would be very interested to see. They didn't do very well in ratings this week, but I think that's because a lot of people didn't realize that they were going to be on Friday night.
Exactly, and it was random. I think, and the other big problem
announced
is
it on Sunday, dude.
Well, yeah, and then you said the other big problem is that the times are all off. Like it started at 10 or
10 p.m., dude.
Yeah,
so they had no demographic. Like college kids needed to go to bed, and there were no kids watching. So I don't know, and the NBA playoffs are on. Yeah, so everyone's watching all that stuff. And Red Sox Yankees was on that night too. So there's a lot of really big things going on that night. So I'm not going to hold it against them. We'll see what they can do this Friday. But Noah, holy cow, what an incredible show we had. I just appreciate you joining me for a Monday night episode of the Crossum Wrestling Entertainment. And again, to my Twitch community who has been in and out all night, thank you guys for stopping by. We appreciate you guys supporting us and being patient with us as we work towards getting back to a consistent schedule. Once I have a consistent work schedule and a consistent summer schedule, we will be streaming a lot more here on the T-Bard 5195 page. Noah, I think we were saying we want to do a commentary of a baseball game for one of the episodes of Baseball with the Bard. So we'll keep you posted. Remember, Baseball with the Bard, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. You can follow us there. Same thing for Crossum Wrestling Entertainment Podcast. If you want to join us live, you can watch us on our Facebook pages, our YouTube page, which is the Bard and Cross Entertainment page, and the T-Bard 5195 Twitch page. So you got a lot of ways to watch us live, and you can also just find us wherever you find your favorite podcast. One more reminder for you that we are not a market substitute for AEW Dynamite or any of their pay-per-views. Make sure you watch them through the correct avenue whenever it is that they're on, because gosh dang it, I can't keep track of when they're live anymore. So make sure that you come along with us in finding the best way to watch the best content there is for wrestling on TV right now. Well, Noah, it has been an incredible night. I appreciate you again for joining me. My name is Tyler Bard. That is Noah Cross, the Magician. We will see you all next time on the Crossum Wrestling Entertainment Podcast.
You're listening to the Crossum Wrestling Entertainment Podcast.